Hi, and I am coming to you from the Long Island Expressway in Queens, New York. So welcome. I'm Ray Vagnuolo, and I'm a pastor of a church in Sayville, New York. And I am a member of the queer community. I identify as gay, and thanks for watching. I like to do these little videos primarily just to talk about, all of those things that we've been taught that have been so wrong, that so many places still continue to practice about our community, that as a minister, among all the other things that I do, it really is important to me to speak out against the inherently wrong and ultimately very damaging and harmful teachings that many communities of faith continue to spread. I mean, we're just this week, what are we looking at this week? We've got an Iowa governor signing legislation preventing transgender girls from playing on girls' sports teams in school. We've got um, a governor in Texas who's saying that it's child abuse for parents who allow their children to go through the process of considering transitioning if they identify as a trans person and wish to transition. We've got a state in Florida who's saying don't say gay, don't say gay, don't say gay, and schools that are suspending kids who are walking out of classrooms to protest. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. And we have religious leaders who will stand up and tell you how I'm going to hell, right? And how I have to change. And all of this stuff is just crazy. There's something in biblical work that's called proof texting, where you go into the Bible or these texts and you pick out something that was written thousands of years ago for a different audience in a different language, translated multiple times, edited through the eyes of several editors and people who have rewritten them, and use that particular text in a way, basically to weaponize it, to try and make your point, to increase your power, your authority, your following, whatever it might be. Unfortunately, we have been the target of that for a very long time in the queer community. So today, I want to tell you, as I've said before, number one, you're loved. Number two, those people who say these things are wrong, no matter how loudly they say it, no matter how much they believe they are right, no matter how eloquent and how scholarly and persuasive they may be, how good they may look on a video, how charismatic they may be referred to in the way they preach and teach, they are wrong. Number one, God created you the way you're supposed to be. And if part of who you're supposed to be is going through a transition process into who you've discovered your true self to be, well, God bless you. May we all do that in our own ways. So they are wrong. And if they try to tell us that because we happen to love a member of our own gender, as we identify ourselves in that broad continuum of things, ways to describe ourselves, well, they're wrong about that too. And it's not just me saying that. It's not. Um, I'm not an outlier, but but churches and faith communities still haven't had the courage or the prophetic voice to stand up and to en masse say, look, this is wrong. We could never embrace anything that would cause anybody harm. We could never do what we're called to do by excluding people from being with us, and many other things that follow that. So listen, you may never want to have anything to do with church again. I get it. I didn't want to for a long time. And then things happened, and I found myself not only back involved in church, leaving the Roman Catholic Church in my case, but and becoming a Protestant and finding myself in a community of people who were working for inclusion in the church for the full community, including the LGBTQIA queer community, and they were willing to fight for it. They were willing to go into all sorts of denominational meetings, community meetings, to put forth proposals, amendments, and eventually change a large part of the church, in the Presbyterian Church at least, to start things moving in the right direction, but we're not there yet. The point is, though, just like anything else, once our church said, well, of course it's okay for uh, a person to marry a same gender, same sex partner, however you want to talk about it, Oh, of course, that's fine. Well, the fact that the church said it was fine didn't make it right. It was right long before they said it. It was right through all of the arguments they threw at us. It was right through all of the damage and the harm they had done by speaking against that, just as an example. So keep that in mind when you're struggling a bit and you're working for something and all the voices around you are so loud, but in your heart and soul, that voice that speaks to you is saying, hey, God loves you. Whatever God is for you, you're right. And we don't need other people to catch up to tell us so. So there. From the Long Island Expressway, driving out into Suffolk County in New York. Um, Nice to be with you today. And, I come as I am for these things, so it's the way we all are, isn't it? We all have our lives, we live our lives, we do the things we do, and we are who we are. And we really don't need people who don't know very much at all about us to tell us who we are, how we're supposed to live, and who and what it is that God would be happy with in terms of how we may live our lives. Love yourself, know that you're loved, do your best to love one another, and above all, know how beautiful you are. Period. How's that? Okay. We have a lot to pray for, a lot to keep in our minds these days with all the things going on. And in the middle of that, take care of yourself and know how much you are loved. Bye for now from the Long Island Expressway. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.